Right, this is for Wednesday the 14th of March. Market had a huge up day today. Yesterday was a decision day. Dithered around total doji. This is the S&P. Yes, this is the S&P. Then the S&P went to new, I don't know, 10 or 11 or something near highs. Just blew out today. The key, I think, was the composite. We opened back above. Actually, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to SPX there. Composite's over here. Let's go here. Composite opened above 3,000. We had this quick movement back up after the fall retracement and opened above 3,000. So that's all important. Pretty simple. Comes down, tails basically off of it and blasts. Basically tailed right off of these support levels, these tops just below 3,000. So anyway, that's pretty straightforward. Pretty simple story for the day. And here it goes. Comes down, double tail. Look at that, double tail. Reverses back upside and just goes right at 3,000, right around there. Just launches, you see there. So that's pretty straightforward. What else? The S&P. If you're looking at the S&P, you could have seen this for the end, for where we stopped and where we might have been headed. It goes up along these wicks. Ends right there. Perfect. Dip back down, movement back up. One hesitation day, hitch and go. Hitch and boom. There you go. So, and if you wanted to have drawn the downtrend line across these wicks here, you could also have seen it's the same story we've had for a while. Same story that we had back here in January. Downtrend line, bump up against it, break through it and go. So anyway, did that again today. So that's pretty big. Boosted by the Fed and Fed decision to leave interest rates unchanged, and what else? What was the other thing? Retail reports were good. Retail sales. So anyway, pretty simple story. Up. Broadcom. We don't do the 2 minutes. We'll do. Here we are. Broadcom. Same type of pattern. Closed above the downtrend line after falling. This was the J-hook type pattern. Comes over. Often goes higher off this nice curve over and dump. A fast dump. Boom. Goes higher. Finds a way to go higher. This did it very quickly. Went to market. But you can see here. This was the downtrend line. Closed slightly above it 2 days ago. Came back below it prior day. And then opened above it again today and just went on up. Very nice. What could I do tomorrow? Well, 3750 is right above. We could have a give back on this day. Perhaps this was an anomaly. We might have a substantial retracement tomorrow. We very well could. This is a significant horizontal area through all of these tops, opens, etc. Right here you can see it. Try to go back above and live above this region after briefly being there. Failed. Used it to cradle down. Okay, we're right back up at it. So could we hesitate before going back higher? Sure. Could have even give back half this candle at the very least? Sure. Not surprising if that were to happen. But it, once again, still could be strong and continue up. Have to see what the open has to say and pay attention to things like this uptrend line here. So we had this, where are we at? Also for Broadcom, we had an uptrend established from this bottom here. If I can get this in here properly. There we go. So those 2 wicks established that uptrend, and you passed it and started making new highs today. Could have decided at that point, okay, yeah, we're going to live up here. And if you were to ignore that first candle and go through this tail here, that's where the bottom of the day was. So that could have been reinforcing support for upside. Plus the fact that it didn't drop past half of yesterday's candles, this mid-range here. And, with the market being above 3,000, that's a pretty good call. Fairly straightforward to make. SanDisk is down, and still down below these tops here, below 51. Had a nice up day, not super, given what the market did. A little messy throughout the day. Did open above 50, come back down to this uptrend line, which could have been drawn with a couple of these tails. Not all of them, they're not all on that, so it wasn't a super clear picture, but going back up And yeah, we could go on up higher. Looks like we're definitely going to test this gap closure. Fell from the gap closure, but we're still heading up in a somewhat parallel fashion with this rise over here. So that could break down again, but it is cradling off both of the MAs here with the rejection of this opportunity to fail off the gap. Might need to come up here and test 53, test these highs. Perhaps break out. Netflix. Terrible day, given what the market did. Wicked off of the bottom of this uptrend line that it has had over the past 3 days ago. Finished that uptrend line. Tried to go above with an open on that line, closed below it, stayed below it today. So this is a very important line right now. And you can see with these uptrend lines, you have a decrease in slope, or increased downward, greater negative slope. And perhaps that continues, because if you go with these wicks, you have another increasing slope downward. Perhaps Netflix needs to fall and actually come back here to 100. Clearly it is constrained right now on the downside by these two wick tops here at whatever this would be. Take a look. 104, 105, essentially 104.70, something like that. So very well could be coming back down to hit 100. Maybe it could do it tomorrow or the next day, depending on what the market gives us. The market gives us another update and then has a retracement, maybe 2 days from now if Netflix stays weak. If tomorrow is a give back on today's upside, a substantial give back, Netflix could possibly do that today or tomorrow. Especially if it did something like this candle here, where it opened higher, got a running start at it, past the open and past the close, and ended down. This candle here got a running start on the open, just wasn't going to maintain it, ended up being a big candle down. X broke above and stayed above for 2 days. This downtrend line, which was clearly controlling, this candle was key, going up, coming back down, closing on it, and then having a gap up the next day on the uptrend line. Well, you see which one of these won. Which one of these won out? The uptrend, the market being above 3,000, opening above 3,000. The Dow clearly with potential to go back above 13,000. Okay, up day. X did more with it than almost anything else. Passing the critical level of 27, bounced right off of 27 and went like a champ. That whole scenario, lay that out in your mind, and you can maybe see that once it does breach these critical thresholds, doesn't even have to get back down to this level of support. You decide it's going up on a macro sense and can go with that, but there's no real easy place to take it in here. You just have to decide that at some point that, hey, I think X is going up, and jump on board, which is not always an easy thing to do. But passing this top here might have been a decision, a time where you could maybe have said, okay, maybe it goes higher. But this really was quite one hell of a candle. And the market gave a major pop in the afternoon. I want to see the market. This isn't showing it to me. Okay, this after the Fed decision, and there was no breakdown. There wasn't a whole lot of anything. The Fed decided to keep interest rates the same. Okay, big deal. So that was okay. And then this, I guess, having maintained these new highs and all this good stuff, the market decided, okay, this is for real. Here we go. That's my best guess on where this came from. So that put the polish on X's candle. And so what it could do tomorrow, could definitely have a give back. I would say that seems overextended. Let's find X. Where is that over here? That seems overextended at the moment. Don't know. Could have a small candle tomorrow, or could have a nice give back. Here's an important threshold right here. I would say those wick tops, but of course 28 is going to be all important once again. If it can't maintain 28, it very well could have a substantial give back. 27.50. This level is not far away at all, and it could give that nice candle down in retracement and still maintain this nice uptrend right there. So pull back. If X is going higher, a pullback tomorrow for a nice candle, depending on the open, would not be a problem for the uptrend. If it's still going to go higher, it could still give a nice candle down for a single day excursion. Cat bounce back above 110, very nice. And maybe this does more tomorrow. It needs to get back up here to 116. This is awfully strong, just like X. But Cat is not coming from a breakdown. Cat is, I think, forging. What are these highs? These are pretty substantial highs for Cat. Let's take a look. Yeah, there we go. 6-month highs at least is up here at 116, and that's not far away at all. Come up to test that, perhaps. That'd be easy. Maybe. So then again, that's awfully accelerated, and you could have yourself a give back. Have to come back either to the MA here, or probably maybe at least down here to call that 112. That this horizontal through here defined with these tails and wicks. At least come back down to that, perhaps. Maybe open a little bit lower wick off of that and go and pass this close and go higher. That could be a scenario. Open a little bit down, come back down, early morning weakness. Market decides, okay, no, we're really going to do this. Let's move up, and then Cat surges and goes past. That could be a really nice scenario for another up candle that doesn't look good early, but turns into something good. What else is particularly interesting? See, I wonder whether this is a real candle for XOM. Let's see here. No, that's bullshit. That's what I figured. Yeah, right down the 2-minute. So XOM's nonsense. Can't trust that. Daily, I guess it was up big time again, right at 87. So who knows what it might do. That would have been interesting weakness if that were real, but it's not. FDX, real nice candle up. So that we saw BS on FDX as well. So this is a real candle up, and maybe this keeps going up. FDX has been pretty awesome lately. It's really nice long term, and maybe it comes up again. Passes 94. It's another candle to the upside. UTX was a champ. Might be worth paying attention to. Look at this. 85, past 85. Big candle. This was really nice decision you could have seen from yesterday's action. Right through here. This candle is breaking above. If this plummets and then comes back up, gets back above the MA, and is bumping against this 84, and then closes right at 84 that next day, having lived above it, well, opening this high, coming back down, staying above 84, then going back up, that's a real nice scenario for that. That would be totally expected for a candle of this size. X's was a little unexpected, but this scenario, this strength, this critical level of 84, and then going back like that with this kind of start down and up and go, and then passing 85, yeah, that produces candles like that. So that's not quite as egregious, I would say, but it's still very high, very elevated. It looks like some things are going to need to pull back, perhaps. But anyway, Apple blasting upward like crazy. After this, the move back above 500 was kind of a no-brainer. Just buying 100 shares of that. This is $6,700 here. Buying 100 shares of Apple and leaving that. So that was kind of, and then even down here coming back down, and then 520. I recognize 520 as just a total key level back when, based upon the intraday patterns, and it launched off of 520 midday. If you've been paying attention to that, you take a longer term trade on Apple. This is still $4,700 at a 50K position, 100 shares. So nice. What else? I think that's it. Those are enough for tomorrow. Broadcom being particularly good today, and X being particularly good. They will either be very good tomorrow as well, or will be little nothing candles that don't know where they're going yet and could be total crap. The fact that SanDisk was a little different and was not as good today distinguishes them from Broadcom. And if those two are bad tomorrow, SanDisk might be excellent and try to catch up, go up to 52, something like that, or break or something. But they're currently not operating the same, so that may hold tomorrow as well. If you don't find something in Broadcom or X, SanDisk may be the one, and vice versa. So Visa, let's see Visa here. Visa was a total schizo today, but the trading was clean and very interesting. Here's Visa. So Visa might be good to look at. This trading is just clean as hell and just beautiful. but boy, was it a schizo today. So I don't know, something to be thinking about. This was pretty messy up here at this top, but when it was wanting to go, it just wanted to go. Perhaps it does some more tomorrow. This is who knows what it wants to do. We can look here at the once again the 5-year Visa all-time highs. It's looking kind of toppy though, which is quite interesting. Let's draw through this last wick down here. Secondary top break down. That could be really good. You could get some serious downside for Visa if it's not wanting to join the market higher. But have to see. But it was very clean today and quite interesting. So that's it. That's the last thing I want to talk about. Good luck tomorrow.